Hey to the most amazing nurses. It is Dr. V here with Morning Infusion with Dr. V podcast, where we are intentional about teaching nurses how to work from anywhere around the world, making money and owning your own time, building profitable nurse coaching and consulting businesses. You will hear from amazing guests that have grown their companies and want to share insight into how you can do the same to change the face of healthcare as we know it. If you want to grow your businesses and leverage your knowledge as a nurse to grow wildly successful businesses at the top, instead of working your way to the top, head on over and join our Millionaire Nurse CEO group on Facebook, where you can ask questions and get updates on our live and virtual events to help you grow your businesses. Good morning. So I'm super excited. We have Tiara Brody here, who's absolutely amazing, such a sweet spirit. So I ask, of course, that you like, share, comment on this podcast because we want to get it out to the masses, get it out to the nurses. So Tiara, tell us who you are in your own words.
So I am Tiara Brody. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I am a gold digger. I am an entrepreneur. I am a self-motivator, and I would say I'm also a mentor.
Okay. So you say you're a gold digger. Well, like what?
Goal, Goal, goal digger.
We had to get that straight because I was like, you're a gold digger.
digger.
I thought you was married. So that is
I'm getting them knocking them goals down.
Gotcha. I love it. Okay, now tell us, because I always go back to the beginning. Did you even want to be a nurse? And if you did, why did you even want to become a nurse?
So in the beginning, I wanted to be a doctor. Actually, I wanted to be a pediatrician. So I can remember my mom had pictures of me when I was 5 and 6 at Halloween. I was dressed up like a doctor. So for Halloween. So it wasn't until I want to say till I got into middle school, because in middle school they would have like different programs where you can kind of like work for career development, where you can go shadow doctors, nurses, whatever you wanted to do. It was a program that my school offered. And so I had the opportunity to shadow a couple of doctors that worked at the hospital in doctors' offices. And then I also had the opportunity to work and interact with the nurses that work for them. And it was at that time I was like, I click better with the nurses. Like, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be, a nurse. Like, I feel like, and I no discredit to doctors, they are amazing, but I just feel like the nurses are it. They are the ones that they're running the show. I felt like a lot of the stuff doctors couldn't get done if it wasn't for the nurses. And I feel like I fit better with being a nurse. So after that, I changed my career trajectory to becoming a nurse instead of a doctor.
I love it. So now you went to school, you graduated, and then
boom, life changed fast. Yes.
Tell us all the tea.
So when I graduated from Ohio State University. I went there on a full ride scholarship. So I've always been a straight A student. I've always been, I graduated top of my class. And a couple weeks after I graduated, I found out I was pregnant with my son. Prior to that, I had already had a job lined up in Columbus. I had already decided that I'm gonna work for a year and I'm gonna do travel nursing. Like, I had everything set up. My life was always planned. It always went as planned, but this was the one time in my life that things did not go as planned. And then at that time I had to decide, okay, am I gonna move back home? Because I'm from Akron, Ohio. So Columbus is about 2-hour drive from where I was born and raised. So I decided to go back home because that's where all my family was at. Everybody that I knew were friends and they didn't have kids. So I was like, I got to go back home because I'm going to need the help. So I decided to go back home. And then it was during that time that things just changed, because now here I am pregnant. I don't have a job. I still have to take my NCLEX. My goal was I had said, you know what? I'm living with my mom at the time when I had always lived on my own. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this test because I know I'm gonna take this test. I'm gonna hurry up and go get me a job, so that way they don't see me that I'm showing yet. I can get working, start saving the money. And I took my test. I probably took my test about a month after graduation and failed it. Did not pass the first time. And it was then that I was just devastated. It changed everything because I was somebody who always was used to winning. I was always used to everything came easy to me. So when I failed, I was like, what? It shattered everything. My confidence was gone. I felt like everything was done. And then I start questioning, like, should I even be a nurse? Am I supposed to even be a nurse? Because I can't even pass this state test. And that test kind of defined me at that point because I felt like I wasn't good enough to be a nurse at this point. And then, after that, I took it a couple more times. And now that I'm older and I can reflect back on that time, I realized that I was at different seasons and different things was going on in my life to where I wasn't even really preparing properly for the test. Like I literally was just studying for a couple of weeks to take it. Not really taking the time to really study the information because I felt like, again, everything came easy to me. I did well in school, so of course I'm gonna do well on this test. And it was, so I took it a couple more times, did not pass it. And then so by the third time I was like, I'm not taking this test no more. I done failed it 3 times. I'm done. I'm done. And I'm not trying to take it anymore. Now I need to figure out what else is out there for me. But I could not figure out anything else I wanted to do. I'm like, I've always wanted to be a nurse. What else am I going to be good at? What else can I do? I don't have a joy to do anything else. I had no clue where I was going in life. So, and then it was an embarrassment because, everybody knew I was straight from I live in a small town. So everybody knew I went to Ohio State. I graduated top of my class. So you would see them and they'd be like, how you doing? How's nursing? And I'm like, I'm not working right now, and some of them still believed I still living in Columbus. And, so it was just like that embarrassment. Like, I'm not even working as a nurse. I'm probably not even going to be a nurse. And then it wasn't until, so the 4th time when I finally decided to take it for the 4th time, it was really my mom. Like I give her all glory and grace because I had decided I wrote it off. I'm not taking it no more. And my mom was like, no, like you gonna take this test. So my mom went behind my back and she called Ohio State and talked to the dean of nursing. And she talked to them and told them my story, what was going on. And they were like, oh my God, she should have been called us. Because by this time, 2 years had passed and I had been out of school. And my mom was like, and they were like, she should have called and told us we have resources. We could have got her to help. And my mom was like, she was ashamed. She don't even know I'm calling y'all. So my mom finally, she talked to them. They gave her every resource I need to help. And they were like, they had told her, like, tell her it's not her. Like, we hear this all the time. We have this happen sometimes. Some people do have issues and we give them the correct resources and they do well. So just tell her, keep going. And so my mom called me and told me, like, I went ahead and called the dean of nursing at Ohio State. I'm sorry. I know you're going to be. And I was so mad, like, because I'm embarrassed. I'm like, why would you do that, Mom? Like, I don't want them to know that I haven't passed my test. Like, why would you say that? Why would you do that? And so I used all the resources they offered me. And I decided, like, okay, if I'm going to pass this test, I got to gain back my confidence. I have to believe that I'm going to pass this test. So then that's when I decided that, okay, first of all, I'm going to dedicate more time to passing this test. And at the time, I had a job where I was making decent money, but I decided to leave that job. I said, I need a job where I can have time to study, but still make some money. And it might not be a lot of money, but enough to where I can still do what I need to do to take this test. So I became a home health aide at an agency. I became a home health aide because I'm like, I'm going to work 7 days a week, but I can still be at work and still be studying. So that's what I did. So when I was on people's houses, they would be like, oh, you my grandma's aide. I mean, you my grandma's nurse. They're like, you my grandma's nurse. Oh, because they had known me. They're like, oh, you my grandma's nurse, huh? And I'm like, no, I'm her aide. But when you're home health aide, everybody think you're the nurse anyway. So that is funny now. But yeah, so I had decided to go ahead. I did that 7 days a week. I had met some amazing people during that time. Like some of my clients that I was working with, when they found out my situation, they were like, oh my God, like this one family I had got really close with, they literally were like, we gonna help you pay for this test because we knew something was different about you. They like, we knew, like the way you come in here, you were destined to be a nurse. Like it was like, and they're still great friends of mine. Like I still stay in contact and stuff like that. And So I had decided, like, I literally study every day. I wrote a letter to myself and told myself, like, you are going to pass this test. You supposed to be a nurse. You not going to fail it this time. And, I dedicate the whole letter to myself and with just positive affirmations. And I literally posted all over my house. I post anywhere I would be and I can read it. I posted it so I can remember it. And I had told myself, I had designated the amount of questions and amount of time I was going to study each week. And if I did not, the contract to myself was, if I didn't fulfill that for the week, then I couldn't go out to do anything. I had to, there was no part-time, no playtime, no nothing, if I didn't dedicate the time that I needed to study. And I took it the fourth time, and my computer shut off at 76 questions. So I was doing the dang thing. So it was like, at that moment, I knew, I was like, I passed. Because there was no way. I know I didn't get that many questions wrong that it just popped off at 76 questions. So I knew. I walked out of there knowing I had passed.
I love it. I love everything about what you said. I think one of the things that I love the most is the fact that you said that when you were in shame, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times what happens is we stay, and I want people to understand this. People don't want you to suffer in silence.
Nope.
They want to help you most of the time. Yeah. And when you admit to yourself, this is something that, okay, has happened. And, I don't think that necessarily this is something that happened to you per se, because of things that you did wrong or right? Because that NCLEX, listen, they told me, and nurse practitioner PA, they said, PA, you got to take that test every 5 years. I said, well, if I'm going to be anything, I'm going to be a nurse practitioner. Because what I'm not about to do is take that test every 5 years.
Yes, that was me. I'm not taking it. No. I
am done. Okay. So I think that, that is such a thing that a lot of people deal with. And because they live in that shame, then they don't get the help that they need. And it seems like that's what happened with you. But, congrats to your mama. She was like, listen, that I don't went behind your back. You're going to be mad, but you'll be all right.
She was like, I know you're going to be mad, but I called them people. You told me not to do it. I did it. I was like, oh, Mom, why would you do that? But I'm glad she did. I'm so glad that she did, because I probably wouldn't have took it again. I had already wrote it off. I had decided that I'm done. It wasn't for me. And what was so crazy is I still had a journey to find a job after that, because it's public knowledge that I took my test that many times. And a lot of jobs didn't believe that I could do it, because statistically, I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be a good nurse. It took me so much time I took 2 years off. So they really didn't even want to give me the opportunity. So I had to fight for that. That was a whole nother journey with just trying to fight and keep going and getting a job that I wanted, that was willing to take the chance on me, so I can prove to them, like, I'm supposed to be here. So and I don't, right now, I feel like I needed to go through that. It was a testimony I had to go through, because like I said, everything had always happened so easy for me. And everything went by plan. And I felt like, had that not happened, I don't think I would have been the nurse that I am today, because I worked so hard to get the license. I'm not about to play about my license now.
Right.
I don't play about them. Like, I don't care. A doctor, you can't tell me what to do. If I know what my scope of practice is. I know what I can do and what I can't do. And I don't care what doctor tell me, oh, you can do it. Because I said, no, I cannot. That's not in my scope of practice. And I felt like, had I not had that happen to me, I wouldn't have been so open or willing to say that, because I probably would have just been not realizing how important my license was. But I worked so hard to get them. I'm not losing them for anybody. So I think I needed to go through that. It was a testament for myself. And what I also do is my testimony has helped other women. Because like I said, I used to be embarrassed to talk about it. I never wanted to tell people that I took it 4 times. I was embarrassed. But now I'm open and I share it. And it's so many other nurses that I've connected with and met because of my story. And they told me, I decided I wasn't going to take it again, because same thing happened to me. And then we talk and they go take it again. And now they're telling me, like, girl, I'm going back to get my MP too. So for me, that is, I feel like it needed to happen, because people don't talk about it. You do not hear a lot of people talk about how they failed the NCLEX and where they're at, whether they decided to continue or they decided to to continue on or didn't decide to take it again. I feel like we didn't talk about it a lot. And even when I was on the floor that I worked, when I finally got into the hospital and started working, it was a few nurses that I worked with. And it was one day we had a conversation, and I was shocked at how many nurses hadn't passed at that point and how they had to take it a couple times. But I feel like it's not a conversation that we always have. So for me, I feel like it needed to happen to me so I can be that voice and talk to other people and share my story.
And I think that is a testament to faith as well.
Yeah.
When you walk through a season, like I was, I was great up until high school. My mother wanted me to go to school to be a nurse, and I didn't want to be a nurse. I was like, what? And so she wanted me to go and be a nurse. I became a nurse. And because of the trajectory of it, I just didn't know what I was doing at the time. Mm-hmm. And because of that, it just did not come easy for me. Like I didn't grow up saying, listen, I want to be a nurse. I want to be an engineer. Right. Okay. And so once I understood everything that I needed to go through, that's the reason why it was so hard for me. But there's a couple of things in there that you said that I think is very important. Number one is that not lying in the shame, really, really, your mother helped you with that, right? Mm-hmm. You moved the needle for it. The second thing is having the faith to say, okay, I'm going to pass this test. And that what happened at that time is something that truly, truly helps you in business, because business is not easy. Yeah. So that is phenomenal. Now we're going to go to commercial, and then we're going to hear some more about Tiara, because she is absolutely amazing. Okay.
Okay.
I became a nurse because I wanted to help heal people, to make a meaningful impact in their lives.
I was immediately attracted to her confidence. Absolutely phenomenal.
A full heart.
We just had a connection.
I spent 15 years in emergency nursing, and as I sat at the emergency desk one day, I began to see a pattern. While we cared deeply for our patients, we weren't always solving the bigger issues. We were working so hard, but many times we were only addressing symptoms, reacting to crisis, instead of preventing them. It wasn't anyone's fault, but the system wasn't designed to be proactive. And in the midst of it all, I saw nurses, amazing, compassionate nurses, completely drained. Nurses like you and me, exhausted, burned out, broken from the grind of giving everything and still feeling like it's never enough. Physically, emotionally, and financially, we were stretched to our limits. I saw it in my coworkers, and I felt it in myself. That's when I realized my purpose, to create something that would support nurses, not just as caregivers, but as individuals with dreams, goals, and limitless potential.
She helped me through VP Nursing to get the systems in place to run my business to where I can be outside of my business, still have it successful, and spend more time with my family, do the things that matter.
I want to say thank you to VP for offering this opportunity to us as a community, and I look forward to her next event that's coming back in August.
I wanted to help nurses thrive, not just survive. I knew that the key to real change wasn't in climbing the corporate ladder or waiting for someone else to fix things. It was in giving nurses the tools to step in entrepreneurship, to create businesses that not only transform healthcare, but give them the freedom to live life on their own terms. My heart ached for nurses because I knew we deserved better. I wanted nurses to feel whole again, to have physical, emotional, mental, and financial freedom. And that's when I made the decision to stop waiting for the system to change and start creating something new. That's why I built the company. Our mission is to help 10,000 nurses reach 6 figures and 1,000 nurses to reach 7 figures.
I have to say that this conference was absolutely amazing. It was life-changing. And I'm looking forward to working with her. I'm looking forward to her coaching me to become a $1 million nurse CEO. The testimonials, the connections that we made, it's the community that I have been praying for. And I thank God for answering all my prayers.
It's been great. It's been overwhelmingly great.
This year, we're celebrating our first ever 7-figure nurse entrepreneur, and it's just the beginning. The Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference is your chance to step into that vision. It's not just a conference, it's a movement, a place where nurses come together to connect, to learn, to build businesses that align with their passion and purpose. If you've ever felt like there's more out there for you, this is the moment to take the leap. We can't wait to see you there.
So we're back. So Tiara, so tell us, you passed that test, became a nurse, and then how you become a med spa owner?
Okay.
Hell happened.
So listen, I did go back get my master's degree. So I would probably say like 7 or 8 years later, I decided to go back and get my master's degree, and that was hard because I didn't believe that I could do it. I knew another test. I mean, I had to take another test after I finished school. But I had people that believed in me. I had my director and who I was working for at the time, other nurse practitioners, even doctors and coworkers, like, you should go back and get your NP. You should just go back. You should go back. And I'm like, these people believe in me. Why I can't believe in myself? I'm gonna go ahead and go back. Maybe, you know what? I'm gonna worry about that test when it's time. I'm gonna go ahead and go back. So I decided to go back to school, graduated. I worked for a couple years as an MP, for 3 years as an MP, and COVID happened. And I was tired, I was burnt out, and I just felt unappreciated where I was working, because it was like these people sitting at home and they barking orders for us, and they want us to see a certain amount of people an hour, and our health is at risk. And I at the time I had a small baby. I had just I had my daughter in 2021, and it was still a lot of things we didn't know about COVID. So I was already terrified, just with going to work and then having to go home. And so my daughter had ended up getting COVID, and she was 8 months old a couple of days before her first Christmas. And I had to take some time off of work. And during that time, I'm terrified, because I don't know what the COVID gonna do to my baby. And then I had ended up getting it as well. So now me and my baby is in quarantine. My husband and my son didn't have it, so they quarantine away from us. And I got my job texting me talking about when I'm coming back to work, and that just peed me off. I was so upset, because I'm like, okay, here I am. I'm not even getting no sleep. I can't go to sleep because I'm scared my baby gonna stop breathing it while she's sleeping. And y'all texting me talking about when I'm coming back to work. So it was like, then I was like, something else got to give. And I'm like, but I don't even know what else I could do, because this is happening everywhere. It's not just where I work. I mean, it's stories around by everybody having this. We all nurses have the same story. Like, it's just bad right now. And but I was like, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. I'm like, I don't know what I can do. And of course I had time. I was in quarantine for like 14 days. So I had a lot of time. So I was on social media, and I just started seeing all these nurses on TikTok starting their own businesses. And I'm like, wait, we can do that? What? Wait a minute. And then I got intrigued, and I got even more interested. And it literally got to where all day. That's all I did. I was just on social media, just watching these women starting their own businesses. And it looked like they were being very successful with it. And I was like, I want to know more. So I got on Facebook, and I started joining Facebook groups. Any Facebook group that had anything to do with nursing, I was in it. Nurses in business, whatever, I was in it. And again, I still didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like, okay, I probably, because I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. That's just start that. I never wanted to be one. I always was like, I'm going to work my 9 to 5, get my PTO time, get my benefits package. I don't have time. I'm going to clock in and clock out and go on about my business. And so I didn't really know, like, okay, what you going to do with this information that you're getting? I didn't know at the time, like, I'm going to probably go ahead and decide to open up my own business. And it was like, the more I started connecting and just seeing these people starting their own businesses, the more my brain just got to start getting these ideas. And I just woke, and one day, now I'm out of quarantine. It was like weeks and months later, and I just woke up like, I'm gonna start my own business. And I'm gonna get started now on trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I originally started off with thinking about doing the IV hydration stuff. So I was going to do IV hydration. I had connected with a lady who was doing courses. I don't know if you know Dr. Ronika Stewart. Are you familiar with her? Connected with her. I took her course for IV hydration, and she was also teaching the post-op nurse concierge services. And I didn't know much about that, but I said, you know what? It's offered with the class. Why not learn about it? So then I thought, like, well, maybe I can do something like that. This is pretty interesting. I can try something like that. But then as I started doing more research and trying to figure out what I really want to do, I realized post-op nurse concierge was too much of more bedside nurse. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. So let me figure out what else. And I reached out to her and I said, hey, I realized that I don't really want to do post-op nurse concierge services. I'm going to do the IV operation, but I feel like it's something else. I got to figure it out. And that's when she was like, maybe a med spa. What do you think about doing a med spa? And I'm like, that's pretty interesting. I would really like that. So I started doing my research, and she had connected me to Dr. Jamie Bryant, and I had ended up connecting with her, went to her workshops, and she started mentoring me. And before I had opened up my med spa, and I'm here. That's where I'm at now. And best decision I could have made. It's hard work, but it's the best decision I ever made, because I am working for myself, and nobody is working me like a dog. Because I think back to the times when I was working, and I was I had to see about 5 to 6 people an hour, so that 30 people within a day, and these people was making millions of dollars off of me. So I know if they can make millions of dollars off of me, I can make $1 million off myself. So I went in with that mindset. Like, I know they're making good money off of me, and I'm not making close to near none of that. I'm barely making 6 figures. So I need to start my own and figure out how to do my own business. So that's the whole story and how I ended up in med spa.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And Jamie is a piece. I love Jamie. Of course, that's how we met initially at her conference.
Yes.
So that's such a good story. And so so what services, and you went into the med spa because you was kind of more of a full thing. Like, do you even do med spas? Like, I was like, I don't even need to start a med spa because I don't even do med spas.
No. No, like I did, like, so I go get my massages. I wasn't doing Botox fillers, like I go get massages, my nail lash stuff like that. So it really took a lot of me, like, doing the research and trying to figure out, is this something I really want to do? And even now, as a med spa owner, I've recognized there are some services that I really don't think I'm into. And I'm like, I'm okay with not having to do it. Like Botox and fillers right now, I don't think that's something that I really want to do. So I don't offer that. I know further down the line, I may possibly offer it, but right now it's not something I really want to do. And I thought, like, cause I kind of do a lot more health and wellness things now. Cause that's what as I start growing, that's what I became more interested in. It's more like the health and wellness stuff. So I'm like, if I do Botox, I might do more for, like, when people have it for treat migraines or treat like sweating issues and things like that. But it's definitely something I will eventually get into as I continue to grow. But I feel like I'm at a place now where I can literally just do what I feel like I'm comfortable with right now.
I love it. I love it. And that's one of the things about being an entrepreneur, is that you get to do exactly what you want to do, period. And it grows as you grow. So I appreciate you so much. So tell the people where they can find you at.
They can find me, so they can follow my Facebook, Instagram, Serene Beauty and Wellness. Also, I have a YouTube channel, Serene Beauty and Wellness. You can also email me if you have any questions, even if it's any aspiring nurses out there who may be in my situation, who may have the same situation as me and couldn't pass a test. You can send me a message at info@serenebeauty.com. I would love to talk to you. I don't mind. But those are all the platforms that I'm on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So go and follow Tiara. Of course, we have the Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference that's coming up February 21st, 22nd. It's going to be amazing in Rockville, North Carolina. I look forward to seeing everybody there. Like, share, comment. We want everybody to know about Tiara. We want to make sure you're in Ohio. You're up there where it's cold at in Ohio. You want to go and you want to get your body aligned and, get everything in place and all that. She does in the med spa, okay? Because then once you got into that cold, you'll be ready for it. Okay.
And I do want to add to before I get off. I am adding on women's health services in the next upcoming year. So we're going to be set up like a Planned Parenthood model and a membership option for those ladies who don't have insurance. So if you're behind on like getting your wellness exams, pap smears, we'll be offering those services though for those ladies. So I'm excited about that too.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Because that's one of the, obviously, you had the CEO that was just,
yeah,
what happened to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the reality is that I feel like that there are a lot of times when you pay for insurance, they deny things.
Mm-hmm.
This particular service, that's kind of what I believe in, because first of all, you are paying for the membership model. You go, you get the services that you need, that your doctor wants you to get, and you ain't got to ask nobody to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You in your position, and that's it. And so,
and you have more access. And I'm trying to set mine up like more like a spa feel. So it's not like a doctor's office feel. We all know that getting those annual exams is not always comfortable for us.
Right.
So so my goal is to set up for like a spa feel for ladies. So that way they're not dreading to come and get the service done.
Mm-hmm. I heard you talking about, having them come in and putting on the robe. Listen, if I was in Ohio, you can tell me, I'll be all over there, okay? I'd be all up in there. I'd be like, let me go over here, because.
And that's the goal. I want my patients that come in to be like, I love going there and enjoy it and feel calm and feel like they're feeling heard, because a lot of women, they feel unheard in the space of a GYN service. So that is the ultimate goal.
I love it. I love it. So y'all better go see Tiara, okay?
Yeah, come see me.
If I move up there now, it's gonna be on and popping.
You can fly up here. Yes.
I didn't got y'all spot, okay? I didn't got your spot. So anyway, it's a pleasure talking to you, Tiara. You are a pleasure. And you, ladies and gentlemen, have an amazing rest of your day. Like, share, comment. We'll talk to you later.